G'day everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name's Levi. I'm a prospector and adventurer of gold here in Tasmania. In my last video we went to the New River, which is a few k's hike in, and it wears me out every time I go there. I am excited to get back down there, but I'm going to leave it for now. I'm going to rest up and do a bit more of an easy access type of day. But hold up, Levi. First we've got to take them freediving for crayfish at one of your favourite places on earth, Granville Harbour. I've been coming to this spot for about 10 years now. I started freediving 10 years ago, and this was one of the first places that I learnt to dive for crayfish. It's a beautiful place, one of my favourite spots in Tassie, and it's just an untouched paradise down here. Alright, so I'll get geared up in the wetsuit. I've got to hike up over that hill there. I've parked in the wrong spot and I'm not going to try and get full drive around there, so I'll walk over that hill. There's a few pools I'm going to jump in and we'll get to it. Wish me luck. The west coast of Tasmania is renowned for its rugged coastline. Over the years I've learnt which areas are safe to freedive away from the huge swell, which can often reach around 7 to 10 metres. It didn't take long and I come across a few crayfish, but these guys unfortunately were just too small. Using the camera, juggling the weed and trying to catch crayfish all at once can be a challenge. Got our first cray, guys. It's only a baby. Let him go. Let him live another day. I spent some time looking and all I come across was just small crayfish everywhere. Look at all these guys. I decided to go out a bit deeper to a spot that I'd been to before, and I eventually came across my first good sized cray. Unfortunately, this guy was just too quick. I decided to head on over to another spot where I'd had some luck in the past. Blue-tongue lizard. Hey mate. Sees blue tongue? Sorry buddy, I scared you. And my hands are cold too. Yeah, I'll put you on the rock. There you go. How's that? Hey? He's not happy. In this spot my luck changed and I caught my first good cray. Okay, one size cray finally in the bucket. It's only just. It's a male. While searching for crayfish, I come across a few good sized abalone as well, which I decided to grab. Okay, it was time to set off to my next spot, which was further up the coast. And although Granville Harbour is just a tiny little village on the coast, this time of year there's people everywhere with quad bikes, cars, four-wheel drives. I encourage all that use these tracks to stay to the marked tracks, take out your rubbish when you leave so that these places can stay open and accessible to the public. This is the Pieman Heads, where many ships have been sunk and many lives have been lost. The next spot was to a place which I call the Cave of Wonders. It's a large boulder that creates a cave underneath where the crayfish all hide out. Every year this deep hole produces good crayfish. Today it was rough and I had to be extremely careful. Although this big fella looks close, he's just out of reach. I needed to figure out a way to bring him forward. I decided to drop a tasty looking abalone at the entrance of his cave to see if it might entice him. On my next breath of air, I found that there was a cheeky starfish down there grabbing onto my abalone. I quickly got rid of him and tried again. With the waves crashing in, I'd become exhausted. I needed to act fast, otherwise it was time to get out. He had moved, but this time he'd moved to a spot where he was jammed in super tight. It was going to take every little bit of breath I had to pull him out. When these guys lock in, they lock in super tight and it takes every bit of strength you've got to pull them out. To come to the surface with a good sized cray and take a breath of air is a great feeling. So that concludes the fishing segment of this video. Please let me know in the comments what you thought of this, if it's something you want to see in future videos, or whether I should just stick solely to the prospecting. We'll get on over to the gold now and see what we can find. I always pick the wrong track. Not that there is any tracks, but I seem to end up in the most roughest part of the bush. I see a river. This river's no secret. It gets lots of traffic, but it's a big system and it produces lots of gold. Into the waterproof case you go, my broken little camera. In my first few boil holes, I found some nice flakes of gold. After cleaning the gravels out of this crevice, I found some nice pieces of gold, some that were almost the size of pickers. If you find clay like this underneath the river gravels, it's a great place to search for the gold. I kept finding more and more gold in this large crevice, but it was starting to get deeper and deeper and I was struggling to reach the bottom comfortably. Trapped in the bedrock, underneath all that gravel, I came across a nice gold picker. This crevice got deeper and deeper, but the deeper I got, the bigger the gold got. Down in the depths of this crevice was a nice pocket of gold. For most of these pieces I had to hold my breath. Although I'd pulled a lot of gold from this spot, I was just about done and exhausted with holding my breath. Although exhausted, I couldn't leave the last bit of gravel in this deep hole unturned. I kept finding more and more gold. I didn't care how silly I looked. This deep hole just kept producing pockets of gold. This was very difficult without a weight belt, so I started using large rocks to hold me under. I'd just about had enough of this. It was wearing me out. But just before I gave up, my persistence paid off. I'd gotten to the deepest part of this hole and check out the gold sitting down in underneath. It had been a big day, and just to give you an idea, here's some of the boulders I had to remove before I could remove the gravels underneath. I'd had an awesome day. It was time to make the trek back to the car and head home. Now, I didn't intend to be holding my breath like that all day, guys, but the gold just kept coming out the deeper I went, and I ended up spending the majority of the day just in that one big hole, and this is what come out. It's a huge amount of gold. Let's get it weighed in, we'll see what we come up with. Okay, here we go. .65, okay. A pretty good day, guys. Absolutely wrapped. It was a lot of hard work, but hard work pays off. Check out some of those pieces too. There's a lot of pickers in there. The bigger one for the day is that one just there. So if I can get him. There you go, gives you a bit of an idea of the size of them. They're not massive, they're not nuggets, but they are nice little pickers. Might just lay them out to end the video. So thanks for watching, guys. It's been an awesome day. Thanks for watching again, and yeah, let me know in the comments what you thought of the crayfishing, if that's something you want to see more of, or if you have any ideas, let me know in the comments below. Thanks again, and we'll see you all next time.